the thing about it, I mean, like, we're really here. The thing about it, once you've done your limited company, you shouldn't be worrying about anything legal. Full stop. It's a new world you've just entered. Full stop. Don't even think legal. I'm not even going to talk legal. That's the thing. So any questions like that can wait for the other group or wait for the other group meetings. List them. I'm not talking about legal. I'm talking about your limited company. I'm talking about keeping organized. I'm just keeping about being on top of yourself so your estate don't get given back to the crown. Full stop. Yeah? I'm not talking about legal. Legal's back. Legal's old. Legal's 15 years old to me now. And I'm fed up of talking about it because all you guys ain't, well, you've caught up a lot. And I have to respect that. You guys have caught up a lot and you're on point. So the thing about it, if you're worried about any legal stuff, I'm just saying to you, don't worry about it. Your limited company basically is your trust. It's your estate. Your limited company is your estate. You are the child, what grew up. The child had the estate, but the government and the system was looking after the estate for you because your mother and father gave it into the care of the government and the system. So basically, you have been the child and the government have been looking after you and allowing you to live on this earth and do what you do to do. Yeah, so you're not causing trouble to anybody. Now, basically, you've grown up as an adult and now you step forward to say that you're competent to live on the earth without causing any trouble and doing anything. But they haven't told us that we can do that. That's the thing. So we stood up and we took back ourselves as an adult. Now we are the child. But because we are the child, that child was in the care of the system. Now we were the trustee of that trust. Yes, because the system was the beneficiary, because the system was getting all the stuff we was paying them basically. Now, because we are the child and we are the trustee and we've taken back our own limited companies, now we are the trustee of our own limited company. Basically. Yeah. So basically what's gone on is like our trust, our limited company is basically our estate. Now, there's only two ways you can get shares. You can either be allotted them or you can either buy them. If you go and buy shares, you're literally buying a certified copy of an entry birth certificate. That's what you're doing if you buy a share. If you go into your company's house confirmation statement and you do your yearly filing account and your confirmation statement, you get allotted a share. Now, God said that everybody on the earth is equal. Everybody gets their 1% annuity every year. That is our annuity when we do our confirmation statement. When we was born, does anybody want to say anything? Okay, when we was born, basically, our mother and father, if we got back, basically, we was given a Christian name. Now, our mother meant to take us back to the church every year to go and do a confirmation statement to say that we were alive. And our mother didn't do that. That's why the Cestui KV Act 1666 is there, because we didn't go, for 7 years, we didn't go back to the church and get our confirmation statement done. So that means we wasn't alive. So we haven't been alive. So we are known as a dead entity, basically. Now, what we've actually done, we've actually stood up as an adult now, and we've gone and done our limited company. Now, every year you need to go and do a confirmation statement. If you don't do your confirmation statement, it means that you're not alive, basically. There's no living entity in the company keeping it alive. So you have to do your confirmation statement every year, and you have to do your filing every year. If you don't, your company will get dissolved, and all the estate you have will go back to the crown until you go back and claim it again. And you can pay the fines on not doing the confirmation statements and the filing accounts. Yeah, this is the company side of things. Is there any questions? Okay, all of you saw that them little images I put up in the WhatsApp group. Basically, this is the order of how you're going to get into your account, basically, because this is your estate. Now, when you saw the first clip, actually, I think I might have them on the computer here. Bear with me 1 second.
I have a question. Can I ask a question?
Yes, certainly.
Thank you. I did mine through Duport, which I found so much easier.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because you've put it on from a company's house, so because I did it through Duport, do I then have to go to company's house and do it through them, or can I look on Duport? Will it give me the same? Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense. I done the same thing as you. I went to Duport when I first started because I didn't know what I was doing. So Duport is basically the sister company to Company's House who actually does it for you. And so you and at the end of the basically they'll send you a pack. It cost me £85. I don't know how much it cost you, Debbie, but it cost me £85 when I did it. And they sent me a pack where it had the share documents in it, that had the memorandums, the articles of association, everything is in it. And they just give you it in a nice pack. But yeah, you don't need to go to Duport. Basically, all Duport was to set the company up for you. You will have to, when you do your first filing, or your first confirmation, sorry, you will have to change the director's name from Peter Viatalis to your own name. Yeah. So you're gonna have to change the name of the director from Peter Viatalis to your own name. Yeah. If you're gonna if you've set up the company via Duport, because they had to have a director in place to set the company. They had to have a director in. They have to have a director in place to set up the company in the first place. But that director cannot stand in the same position because you are meant to be in that position. So the director denounces. You have to denounce the director. So you have to do that on Company's House. Yeah, if you've done it through Duport, which Debbie just asked. So. But yeah, every year once you've denounced the director, Peter, and you become the director, then you will have to go to Company's House yourself every year and do your filing and do your confirmation. You're going to do two things every year: your filing account, your filing, and your confirmation. The first thing you do, I believe, might be the confirmation statement. I'm not sure. I think it's the filing. I'm not sure. But basically, because you've got your account now, when you go onto if you typed in your name in Google, your limited company name in Google, and you clicked on basically the top one, it'll take you to Company's House. Because you're in Company's House, you'll see the overview page of basically your account. Well, not your account, but your overview page. And you can see all the bits and pieces. On that page there, you can see when your confirmation statement is due, and you can see when your filing account is due. So you can look at them dates and find out, okay, that's when you got to need. But Company's House will make you aware when you have to. They'll either send you an email or they'll send you a letter. If they send you a letter, it'll come with your full company name, uppercase, with the limited at the end of it, and then it should come with your director's name, all capitals as well. Yeah, so don't get frightened by that. Yeah, it's a legal letter, yes, and I'm not going to discuss legal, but these are the things we have to look out for. But yeah, so Debbie, does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
That's
so
okay.
Basically at this point, not to worry about it until your 12 months, 18 months comes up. When they start asking you, then I'll probably ask for some advice then. So are you saying basically at this point, then we don't have to worry too much until your year's up?
Yeah, basically. I mean, like, as soon as you get to do the confirmation statement, the thing about it, Duport. Basically, Duport might send you an email or send you a letter. Well, they'll probably send you an email to say, could you go on to Company's House and change the director to yourself, basically, and denounce him, Peter, as the director of your company. You've got to denounce him, but you can only do that for when you're doing your confirmation statement. Your confirmation statement basically is, one, you're allowing the Queen to let you know that you're alive. One, that's full stop. Yeah, you're allowing the Queen to let you know that you're alive. Two, your confirmation statement states that you can put down all the information in there who's running your estate for you. Yeah, that's the thing. That's what your limited company is doing. The limited company, so you are the director. So if you're the director, you are the trustee of your estate. The estate is the beneficiary. Yeah. And whoever owns the estate and whoever the estate is given to after you have left the earth, they become the beneficiaries. Yeah. Even if you was to build a school, for example, the people who use the school will be the beneficiaries, but you are the trustee of your estate. You are the trustee of your limited company. You are the living trustee. Now, you can use your shares, what you get allotted to you, which is your annuity that you meant to get from the government every year. You can use them shares and transfer them shares and issue them shares to yourself into your own company, basically, because you are the director. But we can get deeper into that. Really and truly, I really want to talk about actually accessing your account when you first go and do your. How many of you have done your confirmations or your filing account already? Have all of you done it, or some of you, or none of you?
Well, I have got to that page, and you can see all different things in there, and trustee and trust and whatever.
Okay,
so I have been in there.
Brilliant. Okay, so
Hornseywood.
Sure.
Now that you're talking about the allotting of shares and things like that,
Sure.
I remember in some of the talks that you spoke about the certified copy of an entry by 30 copies of it, ha ha ha. And I thought, okay. And then I heard it mentioned again and again. So I already had 2 copies of my certified copy of an entry. They didn't have a line through box 17. This was back in March. I then ordered 10 more copies in May. Each one came with a line through it. I wrote back to them and said I wanted exactly what I had before. They said they'd supplied it. I said they haven't. And they wrote me back a little email that I'd be happy to share with anyone, just basically saying that they'd be happy to refund it and they'll be doing some training, and the box should always have a line through it. I mean, my thought process around it is, and I don't know, you're obviously deeper on this, is the allotting of shares is done with something. Is that the certified copy of an entry? Would that be used in that instance? And if so, do you need a box without lines through or a box with lines? Are the ones with lines through of any value? Are they usable? I don't understand how the instrument itself is utilized.
Well, this is okay. So this is my understanding or my theory of what you've just said there, basically, because this is how I think about it. Now, when you order a certified copy of an entry birth certificate, there's always going to be a line through it, because you haven't clicked that. Basically, you're buying the share. Now you're buying that share for £13 to go and give it to somebody, whether it's a bank, whether it's a mortgage company, whoever. Yeah. The thing about it, the reason the line is there is because you're not using it from your limited company. You're giving it to somebody else, like the mortgage company. Now the mortgage company is using that as ID to go and then order one. Because they're the limited company ordering one, they can get one sent to them with your details without the line in box 17, and they get to write their company name in box 17 to draw off your estate account. Do you get that?
Yes. So they've sent me 2 without lines through. Does that mean that they will potentially have value to them in the end?
Yes, because you can now write a name in that box 17, whoever the company is who wants to draw off that share.
Wow.
Do you see?
Yes.
Because if your share is worth £1 million, for example, yeah, and you get the 1%, you get the 1% when you do the filing account, you get a 1 share. Every year you do a filing of 1 share. Because that's your annuity, what the Queen has given her oath to God to look after God's people of the land. We've come on the land now because we're seen as living entities that own dead entities, which is our ships. Our limited company is our ships with our cargo on it. That's the thing. We've come back and we've claimed the ship, basically. That's why our name's in capital letters on our full entire skin, full absolute title deed. Same thing a ship would have on the side of it. Now, the thing about it, because the birth certificate, because you now owe the limited company owner or whoever owns that limited company is the only one who can draw from their account now. So you are the, like, because you're the director, okay, your ship was floating in the middle of the ocean in maritime law, and it was getting robbed by all the pirates. Then you said one day, oh, look, there's True Talk, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to go and buy my limited company. What you did, you drew your ship back to the dock and tied it up. And you've got a dock guard in front of your ship, which that's why you pay your £13 every year to do your confirmation statement, because you've got a guard, yeah, in front of the, look, this is what Pirates of the Caribbean was when Johnny Depp stepped off onto the platform of the, when his ship went underwater. There was no ship visible, but he still paid the docking master his £13. Do you see? So the ship was there and the cargo's on the ship, but the ship's invisible. That's what you've just claimed. You've just claimed the invisible ship, and the Queen has granted you that on one of her title deeds. On one entire skin, your name is written on that one document. There's no boxes on the page. So that's in law. That's a certificate.
So essentially, power of attorney over it, over your identity then, isn't it?
Yes. So the thing about, so the thing about it, right? What's gone on is that how every year you go and do a confirmation statement, you are saying to the Queen, hello, Queen, I'm alive. And they say, okay, here's your one allotted share, which was your annuity, which God said you was have. Everybody equal on the earth, remember. But because they've played this trick and they pulled a wool over our eye and they've taken our estate away from us because our mother gave them our name. Our mother didn't give us our name in the first place. Our mother gave them the name. We didn't go and claim it. Now we do. But what we're doing, we're claiming it in law, which is the limited company. So I'm claiming that name as the limited company in law. Now, no one has any jurisdiction over that but me, because I am the owner. The owner is the beneficiary, but it can be the director as well, because we understand the trust, what goes on, yeah? The parallel between the trust and the limited company is the breakdown. The limited company, well, the trust has a beneficiary, it has an executor, and it has a trustee. That's what the trust has. The limited company has an owner, it has a director, and it has a secretary. That's the parallel. Yeah, so the owner is the beneficiary. The director is the executor, and the trustee is the secretary. Yeah. So that's your limited company. That's why your limited company can't function unless you've got 3 entities within it. That's why I tell you to go and get your limited company, then you go and get your trademark, and then you become the living trustee within the company, running around doing the work for the limited company. Remember, the limited company, and if you look at the trust, the beneficiary and the executor is the same entity, yeah? And the trustee cannot be the executor or the beneficiary. We all know that, yeah? Now look at the position of the limited company. The owner and the director can be the same entity. But the secretary cannot be. Yeah. Now, this is why I say to you, and this is the thinking behind what I've done. What I did was went and bought the limited company. The limited company is a legal, lawful entity by certificate. Lawful entity by certificate, which can act in legal.
Dartmouth Road. Is that right? So you're open for takeaway?
Then the limited company claims the trademark, which is another lawful entity, but is legal. Now, the trademark stands in the position of the director. So there's nobody home, basically. You're not in there yet. So the limited company is a lawful entity, which is acting as a legal entity. Then and that's the owner. The limited company is the owner. The trademark becomes the director. That's why the limited company owns the trademark and buys the trademark, not you. And then you go in as the trustee and you look after your own company and you spend your own trust and you spend your own estate building what you need to build as the trustee to leave for the benefit of others who come after you. They are the beneficiaries, not you. You are the living trustee. You are here to build what you need to build and get on with. That's why I say to people, start thinking about what you're going to do for your company. Look at Dr. Dre, for example, fine example. Yeah. Even though he didn't probably get his trust, what we're doing, or his limited company or whatever. But what he's done, he's gone and built a school with Jimmy Iovine. He's left that. He was the trustee using all of his estate to go and build the school for the benefit of others. Do you get it? This is what we've got to do with our limited companies. But we haven't had the control of that because we've always been seen as the child. And we've always given over the date of birth of the child and not the date of birth of the living entity which was baptized. But the only reason that didn't happen is because, as I said in the beginning, when we went and we got baptized, or some of us didn't, we just got a Christian name, and we just got the name not given in baptism certificate. Because remember, the certificate of the baptism is a lawful document, and it's a certificate of the name. It's the name given in baptism. Yeah. So your name is a Christian name. This is where if you start using your baptism certificate date of birth, you're bringing back Christ, because you bring back the Christian name, because your name wasn't christened when at your date of birth. I'll give you the example. I was born in June 1970. My mother registered my Christian name in August 1970. Now, I didn't get baptized until August 1972. So for 2 years, I was running around with a sinner's name. And I was running around with the devil's name because I was using the father's surname in vain. So I was running around with the devil. But as soon as 1972 come, I got baptized and I was given a Christian name, because the certificate in law states that it's a certificate of name given in baptism. No bread, no cross, no water. It's your name. So if your name was given to you at your christening, that means you have your Christ name, but you're not using that date of birth. You're using the dead entity date of birth, which was attached to the surname. And then the birth particulars form that your mother filled out, which if you've got a birth certificate that has 17 boxes, your registration date, which is the birth particulars form, was actually registered in box 15. You'll have the registration date in box 15. If you've got a 10-box birth certificate, it'd be the registration date in box 8. Yeah. And this is the thing. This is what they've done. They've turned us, they've taken away the adulthood away from us. But now we've stepped back to take on the adult and be competent and be the parent. Because remember, United Kingdom is just a limited company. That's the parent company. You are the child company under their company. Once you've bought your limited company, now you take yourself out of the incumbency of that office. United Kingdom Limited is just an office. You have your own office now. Now you are the same status. When they talk about changing your status, that's what you've just done. You've changed your status from child to adult. Now you get a full title deed and you get your whole estate to say, right, go and do what you were meant to be doing here on earth.
Thank you.